Okay. Right. Some music on. That's not too loud that it's coming through Luke's computer, is it? Hello.
Hello.
My name's Emma. Perfect. Is that okay for you, Lily?
Yeah.
Perfect. Right, so last session you guys all confronted Luran about his slight journey into mania and villainy. He somewhat resembled a brick wall in his resolve to protect Alstaer. And in speaking with all of you again, well, you didn't make too much, but he has relented for now. Sleer, you are sleeping off the trauma of having one of your closest friends seemingly turn on you. And Cass has come in with you to make sure that you're not alone. Louis sits with Shu by the fire, keeping warm and keeping calm, especially whilst Sarza goes to speak to Cruel and Gerard about not potentially coming to the final. How well that will go is yet to be seen. You learn that Zarina is no longer with you in terms of on this plane.
She's not fit.
No.
I have a question. So how did Zarina end up lost?
The moment she walked into that plane through the door with all y'all, boom. Fun.
Was it intentional by Sorella Ross? We don't know.
You'll never know. You might. Anyway.
I don't trust Sorella Ross at all.
You had a round table discussion with Luran, which had him promise to come to the final fight, but he would not help you any further. But can we change this? Can we do anything to put this...
Can we do anything?
somewhat back on track? At the moment, it looks like you guys are on a one-stop hellscape trailblaze to Fey Ways, which you may not be ready for. All this and more awaits you in this game of the Disappointment Crew. Woo. Because it's only the two of you here, I would love if we could go to each of you and talk a little bit about what your character's feeling, where they're at. And George say too. We can do this with all three.
How are you feeling?
How are you feeling
as a character right
as
now?
a character, right? Why don't we start with Alstaer, because you're underneath me, and then we'll wrap around back to me. Alstaer, how are you doing? If you guys as players have any questions on character, well, I think that's fine.
Right now, Alstaer is recalibrating his plans because he has just been killed, been cursed, and come back to find his husband having a mental breakdown which involves attacking his closest friends. So he's not feeling super cheery.
No, I can imagine not.
No. And then he had a fight with Luran involving kind of a misunderstanding about how much Alstaer has negatively affected Luran, and Luran was very upset. So they took a little moment to cool off, and he is currently trying to find a way to help Luran cope with the situation and hopefully reintegrate with the party in a way that doesn't involve banishing Sleer. But yes, that's where he's currently at. He's feeling a little bit stressed. I'm sure you guys can relate.
I'm taking notes for no reason at all.
Uh-huh.
I think everybody can relate. I especially think Sleer, you can relate. Sleer, how are you feeling?
Well, I mean, Sleer's not okay.
Of course not. When did she ever be okay? But have you ever been okay? Any of you? All of you are pretty not okay. How do you feel about being taken hostage?
Well, I mean, she scream cried into a pillow and then passed out. So.
Mm. I mean, that does kind of speak for itself, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
If your wife could see you right now, what do you think she'd be feeling? What do you think she'd be imagining?
Oh, she'd be very angry at Luran. I'll tell you that.
I can imagine.
Yeah. Angry little dwarf.
I think that's fun. Speaking of angry little dwarves.
There we go.
There you go. I was getting that. Cass,
We love a good segue. Cass is devastated, I would say. I would say she doesn't know what's up with anyone or herself in particular. I think the way to sort of describe it is like, this is her first actual family. She's never had one before. Relationship with her dad is not great. Her mum died and she never met her. The first party was kind of the typical people that she'd hung out with before, which is like, you get kidnapped and no one comes looks for you, and it's like, whatever. Obviously, apart from Brian. And so this is the first ever family that Cass has had, and it's the first people that she's ever like truly loved and who feels like loves her in return. And yet everything is falling apart. She's just lost her best friend. She just saw like her other really good friend like be kidnapped by her other really good friend, and she's just like, she kind of knowingly and willingly did something that might have killed her, and she did it anyway. I think that is a testament to her state of mind more than anything else. And I think her thoughts were like, if I die and it helps my family in any way, that's enough for me. So I would say at the minute, Cass is holding on by like a thread, and that thread has been frayed into several different planes of existence, and it's not looking too good.
You know what else isn't looking too good? Your whole situation.
The whole situation.
It's getting worse, which is a good thing. And it's been slightly healed back up thanks to the efforts of everyone's favourite cleric, and Alstaer, our favourite druid.
And I feel like she also has a sort of, everything she does seems to sort of backfire, and she is currently a threat in several different ways. One, she's still possessed and could be repossessed at any point. On top of that, she can't use her magic, so she's feels a little bit of a liability. Not too much because she's a good fighter, but she's a little bit like, there's not so much I can do with that. On that side as well, the more magic she uses, she's currently got rifts floating around in her, and God knows what that will do and what that could do to her family. So I would say that Cass is sort of like, I would say that her sanity is pretty not, I would say it's not great. She's just very worried about everyone. I think she's more worried about everyone than she is about herself as well. So
I have come to expect that not only from Cass, but from each and every single person on the screen except for me. So I'm very interested to see how you guys go forward with me. Now, I'm going to make a note because you just reminded me of something. And this is why I love little round table discussions.
Oh no. What do I see? Everything I do ends up making a problem.
I'll give you a hint about what it is.
Sorry, what did you say? You can't.
Can we all roll a d20?
Everyone roll me a d20, and if your average is above 10, then I'll
12. I got a 12.
Or something about.
$11.
I'm so sorry, guys.
What did
It's
you do?
fitting. It's terribly fitting. It's a natural 1.
Ooh, okay. 1 plus.
I'm
It should
sorry.
be. Did you get 12? Yeah.
That natural 1 will bring you a lot more down than you think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
12 plus 12 plus 1 divided by 3. I am so sorry, Lance.
Cass.
Alas. Cass, another thing to blame yourself for. No.
Yeah,
Listen,
literally.
I'll be nice and I'll tell you, it was not a bad thing. It was in fact something that might work in your favour, which I'm going to remember so that I can bring it out when
I don't trust Emma. I don't trust it.
Okay, I suppose. That's fine. If you don't trust me, you don't... No, I'm joking. Anyway.
This is a learned behaviour not to trust you.
I will say that was a natural 1 on the brass dice, so maybe it goes into dice jail.
Maybe.
Voice trail.
Did you use those dice when you were in the City of Brass? Because if not, that's
probably. Yeah, I would have said so, because they're my oldest and my most used.
Yeah.
Brass dice.
Right, so, everybody. You take a long breath.
No.
No. Tell me, what do you do Alstaer instead?
That's my favourite thing to say. The DM says something, I'm like, no. So, Alstaer does not want to go straight to sleep.
Okay.
Alstaer has more stuff to do.
Okay.
He will, first of all, find Cerelaras.
Alright. So,
Boo
you
hiss.
head out of the room I believe, were you with Luran or had you gone out to sort of sit with Shu?
He was with Saraza and he was heading back to see Luran and he's...
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. So, you head off to find Cerelaras. Now, it's not very difficult. They have been lurking in the vicinity just in case the opportunity to assert themselves in the situation would arise. Yes.
Do they have a plate of dips?
They have, it's like, here's Cerelaras! And instead of an axe, it's dip. They are waiting around a corner, just wafting down the halls, and they turn, and in their hand is a silver platter with cut up pita breads.
Is their head turned before their body?
Oh, of course. And on the other side is beetroot hummus with an olive oil drizzle on top. And they just look at you and they say, Alstaer, hello.
Cerelaras. I'm good. Can you potentially assist me with something?
For a price. Would you like to know what it is?
What now?
Taste my dip for me.
Also taste the dip.
It's a very earthy flavour.
Mhm.
A bit too spicy for your life.
It's perfect. Amazing. Wonderful.
I don't know if I believe you, but I'll test it out at the party.
I would give it to the Clarnet people in the party.
Of course.
I need to know if we can bring Zarina back through the door the same way you did with everyone.
I can do this. It's obviously a matter of whether they want to return. Considering her origins and where she has ended up. Be a little tricky. But not impossible.
Can we at least try?
Of course. They all waft down to the entrance of their abode.
Okay. Whilst they're doing that, Alstaer has a couple more people he wants to speak to before he goes.
Oh, you're not going to go with them?
No, he trusts Cerelaras to find Zarina.
Okay. As they kind of like open up the
I'm a busy man. Got stuff to do.
as they kind of open up the door the first time, you just hear as they look out onto one of the many hells, just burning and brawling, bubbling before you, and they quickly close the door. And then they shuffle and they're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna try that again. After which they open the door, and then you just see a dark cavern filled with many stalagmites, blue, cool lights, the Underdark, unrelenting in its nope. That's not the right one either. And then eventually, after another try, you just hear a soft breeze, the sound of eerie voices, the rustling of a stream, and Serena says, I think I found it. I'll wait for her to come through. Carry on.
Okay.
And you can head off if you want to go.
Alstaer will go find Cass and Sleer.
Okay. They are in the same room. They are snoozing. But Sleer, Cass, you hear a knock.
I don't know that Cass is necessarily sleeping that well. Up to Aelin, but if Celia's sort of like being like returning to sort of the position, like maybe Celia has her head in Cass's lap and Cass is just sort of like playing with her hair. I don't know. That's sort of Celia could be asleep.
Slea's out. Slea's not getting up.
Okay.
Sorry.
I don't know if Cass would not want to get up and disturb Celia, so I think you'll just hear like Cass like really softly like say, "Come in."
Alstaer will nudge the door open and just stick his head in. Should I leave? He kind of looks at Sleer sleeping.
As long as we're quiet, I'd quite like you to stay.
I need to talk to Sleer as well.
Y'all can wake Sleia up. That's fine.
Yeah,
but she's not gonna wake up without prompting. Is all I was gonna.
Yeah, I. It's not necessarily. Is it urgent? I think she might need some sleep. Okay. Seeing your face, I think Cass will sort of like gently gives Leah a little shake. Is that enough? Is a gentle shake enough?
Yeah, she probably wakes with like a start since she's been having nightmares.
Alstaer will kind of sit down next to Sleer, and I think just before she wakes up, he'll bloom some lavender around her head to just try and keep the atmosphere calm. And he'll just clasp his hands. Sleer, I'm sorry to wake you. I am sorry about Luran. He is, I don't think we've made much progress. But I have an idea that might help. I don't want to see him hurt himself or hurt anyone in the party. And of course, I promised that before I did anything, I would run it by everyone. I'm trying to get Zarina back because I believe with Luran's consent, we might be able to alter his current frame of mind. By which I mean a more safe version of the memory modification. Hopefully, we could return Luran to a stage where he wasn't like this. Of course, I won't do anything drastic, and Luran would sign off on everything. But I don't think that Luran will help in the final fight that we're going to. I think that he will try and take me away. I don't see him changing his mind. I can see him hurting people I love, which I know he doesn't want to do. But I wanted to bring that to both of you first.
I think Cass doesn't necessarily say anything. I think Brian is her best friend and has also got a third eye with insight. So you can see that she's really angry. It's like when you're so upset that you're furious.
Yeah.
I would say that is just like really written all over her face. And I feel like her hands are no longer in Slea's hair because they're like basically clawing at the duvet or like in fist, but she's not saying anything, but you can see she's really angry / upset.
Can I roll an insight to see what she's upset about specifically?
Yeah, go for it.
19.
I mean, she's not even attempting to hide it, so I would have given it to you for like quite a low roll anyway. She is furious that this even has to be like sorry. What was it? Give me 2 seconds. Sorry, give me literally 2
That's
seconds.
okay. She is furious, and we will find out why after this quick break. Ooh.
I know you see me standing here.
Do I look good, my dear? Do I look good today?
In contrast, Slea just looks upset, like she can't verbalize. Like she's more. Instead of rage, she's more teary.
Mm-hmm. What I've come to expect.
Yeah.
Cass and Slea.
I would say that Cass is just really devastated and angry that this is where everyone is at, and that she's angry because she doesn't like that this is the seeming only option that they have, because it's such an extreme measure and it's what has caused difficulties for Brian. Obviously, I know with modifications, but basically she doesn't think memory erasing should be like the only option, but she also is so angry that this might be the only option. And I think she's just very upset that everyone is in this position.
I think sensing that Alstaer does look quite resigned. He doesn't like try and defend the action. He's just, I think that we just need to get through this battle and then we can heal. There is no time at the moment to have the necessary healing that we all need. And what is most important to me, at least, is that everyone is safe. And that's mentally as well. I don't think Luran will fight. I don't think he will make it through the final passage to Feyways without trying again. But I know that I'm so sorry, Slea. Please, I can't excuse his behaviour, and he will have to apologise and make amends on his own. But there's something terribly broken in Luran, and I want to take the time to fix it. I really want that more than anything, but right now all I can do is put this band-aid on him to protect him and to protect both of you and Bluey and Sarah's. I've been thinking, and it's no easy commitment to make. I don't see any other options.
Oh, sorry.
That's also.
Sorry. Has Slea sat up, or is she still lying in Cass's lap?
No, she'd have sat up in order to say that she agrees.
Okay. As she sat up, then I think Cass will like stand and like approach Brian, and she looks like
He's sitting on the bedside. He's sitting on the bedside.
Okay. Well, she would like
You still would approach him.
approach, whatever, to get to Brian. And I think she looks so angry that I think it could be interpreted that she's like might go and like. She looks really, really angry, but instead of doing anything violent, she just gives you a massive hug.
Violent hugs.
He will hug her.
It's quite a hard hug, but it's just, and I think she'll just sort of whisper in Brian's ear, like, we'll support both of your decisions. I wish we had time to do things differently. But like you say, we don't. And I just don't think she finishes, and I just think she starts crying.
Alstaer will sit with her, just kind of combing his fingers through her hair, avoiding the Swiss cheese holes on her head.
It's more like she's got a shaved head, so it's like running your hand across a
like
tennis ball.
I was gonna say, because I'm always not sure if Cass has half the head or just all of it shaved. So he's running his fingers over the shaved head.
It's all shaved after going through the keyhole in hell.
He'll kind of trace where Cass had the scars from Luran as well. I'm going to ask him first. I won't do anything without Luran's total consent. So, having spoken to both of you, I'm going to speak to him now, and hopefully by morning, he will have settled enough to sleep.
There's something I'd also like to say to Luran, but I know he doesn't want to see any of us at the moment, and I also want him to sleep. So I might write a letter, if you could give it to him in the morning. It's not necessarily the nicest thing, but I think I need to say it, especially if he's going to have his memory wiped. But I also don't want to hinder any progress. So you can read it beforehand, and I'll let you decide for whether to pass it on.
Okay. Alstaer will sit with you both for a little bit longer, and he'll try and make some more little like herb pouches that he's just going to dot all around like the top of the bed to help Sleer and Cass sleep. And then he's going to excuse himself after giving you both. He'll give Cass a big hug and Sleer a very gentle squeeze on the hand, just in case she doesn't want to be overwhelmed.
Yeah, he definitely get that read from her that she's just very overwhelmed. She kind of quietly goes back to sleep while crying.
Guys, I'm really sorry that the campaign is so sad.
I'm having a great time.
Gone is the days of goulash. Like, what has happened?
No, we can get back to goulash.
We can get back to goulash,
guys.
I don't think we're going to Feyways. There is no more goulash.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway,
it's okay. Goulash is for what, like episode 53 or whatever.
Do that again. I took so many screenshots. Anyway,
you can use this.
Alstaer will also talk to Bluey, but since Anna's not here, basically what Anna said in the chat is that Bluey would be a little bit reticent, but he'll explain the situation to her.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah's, I think, is still with Karul and Gerard.
Yeah.
Okay. He will briefly pop by there as well. Knock on the door.
Okay. You exit out of Cass and Slea's room and head over to where Droll and Crawl have been resting. And you actually do see Saraza kind of just closing the door behind him and moving out of that area as you approach. And he seems pleased to see you.
Saraza,
So,
would you mind staying whilst I speak to them?
of course, I don't know.
Saves me from having to do it twice.
Are you all right? If there's anything I can do.
I think I have a plan, but I need to talk to everyone before I talk to Luran.
I actually wanted to have a moment with him as well, just the two of us.
Okay, well then I'll tell you really quickly. I am going to talk to Luran about rewinding his mental state a bit.
He might be a little bit beyond therapy at the moment. I'm not sure if we have the time for that.
No, I mean with magic.
Oh,
I know it's not a permanent fix. I've tried to think of other things. I even tried thinking about potentially divorcing him, which I think shows how desperate the
did that
situation is.
work?
No, it did not work, Sarah.
I would have.
But if we alter his memory with his consent to a time when he was less unstable and less monofocused on me, then I think that he will be safer for the party and for himself.
Oh. Sarasa sort of thinks and looks a bit ponderous for a moment, and your insight is high enough. A slightly sad expression crosses.
I'm going to undo it right after.
I think if Luran consents, it's not bad.
Okay, then I will talk to Carol and Joral, less so to get their consent, more so just to tell them, since they're not really party members, but they probably deserve that.
Just so you are prepared, Joral is asleep, and Coral is the only one awake.
That's okay.
Do you want me to stay?
No. Use this time to talk to Luran.
I will. He hugs you, and then we'll walk off. So, you're going to go in?
Yeah. Alstaer's gonna knock on the door.
You knock. There's a pause, and then the door is opened. Do you need something, Sarah? Oh. Not Sarah. Coral opens the door.
Alstaer kind of wanders in.
Inside, you see comfortable beds, similar as everything you've come to expect from Soras's mansion, with Joral kind of like tangled up into it, just completely like cocooned, fast asleep. And there is a sort of a little dip in the bed where you can tell Coral has been sitting. And that's pretty much everything in here of note. But Joral does look to be.
I suppose it's just you.
Is that a problem?
No.
It's alright if it is.
No, it's not a problem. I'm here to tell, I guess, both of you that I'm going to ask Luran for his consent to alter his memory.
Drastic, but I suppose I would. Though I might.
So when he wakes up, depending on what we agree to, he will have different attitudes. I would just ask that you preserve whatever mental state he comes back with.
To get him to somewhere stable, you're going to have to take him quite far.
I have a time in mind.
Further than when I was an antagonist in your story?
Yes.
Very far then. Think it through. Because I'm not 100% sure. Best. But I think it might be your only option.
What do you think is a better idea then?
Turntables, kidnap him, tie him down, and carry on with Zarina in his place, but let it.
You know that wouldn't work. You know I'd never do that.
I also know that I am to be left behind.
Yes, you're a danger to me.
Some things never change. It's alright, a poorly timed joke.
I expect that we will say goodbye to both of you before we go to Melas.
Whether or not Joel goes is. I do not think he's in a position to, if you ask me.
You're very condescending.
Let me repeat what I said. It's up to Joel whether or not he goes. I don't think he's in a position to, if you ask me. So it's just my delivery. I can't help. I'm sorry. I'm trying.
I know you're trying. I think he still seems like he's struggling to look Kroll in the eye.
Kroll has never stepped closer than 2 meters. Social distancing. And he says, if you like, when we say goodbye before you go to Melas, it can be the last time. It's hard for you to look at me. And it's hard for me to wrap my head around exactly how things.
I don't think you know even half of it. I don't know exactly where you're from in our timeline, but I don't want it to be the last time because I want you to know. I want you to know everything. And I want you one day to be able to take responsibility for that in a way that doesn't evoke anger or pain or sadness. I want you to accept everything you did to me and to him. And he nods at Joel. Because I don't think you really know. I think you are trying. And I don't hate you. I don't forgive you. But looking at you now, I don't hate this person.
I think I can understand some of Luran's emotion. A little bit of how he. Not well. But I have ideas. there are some situations which, no matter how hard you try, will never, ever be able to elicit any response less than anger or pain or suffering. I have at least the mental cognizance to know that the extent to which that version of myself, he stops himself and then he kind of sighs heavily and says, I went to, and it appears to be one of it. There's nothing more that we can do to one another. But if we keep rehashing this, I wonder if it might hurt more for you. That I might end up hurting you more.
I'm not rehashing anything. You've barely been back for a couple of weeks. We have not spoken. And you don't know, with all due respect. If I had the vehicle, I would show you everything. Even the things that you did before you became this fragment. You still need to realise that what you did is unforgivable. You came to me when I was a child, and you looked after me, and you made me trust you. And all the while you planned to use me as a thing, as someone who, as something that you could use in your plan to hurt other people and to destroy everything that I love now. And when you looked at me like a person, I think you hated me. You did that to me my entire life. And I trusted and I loved you as my family until you started trying to kill my friends and lock me away. And I want you to know how that feels, because no one else knows how that feels, except maybe Gerald. And he would never tell you because he loves you far more than I ever did. So one day I would like to show you everything you did. Not out of anger, but because you need to know and accept that. I want you to live with that.
All right then.
Also kind of lets out a big breath. All right then.
I was wrong to treat you that way. I brought you up at the same time I was bringing up my own son. But I convinced him I wouldn't see you as family. I didn't even think I saw. Or at least I thought I didn't see anyone. Vague impressions of memory Tell me I was right. And Joral has shown me. That much I know in detail, and I can apologize. I'll amend what I said before then. This can be the last until you decide otherwise.
Thank you. He looks like he obviously has more to say, but he will take that last sentiment and he will excuse himself.
Okay. Alstaer. I am aware you want to speak to Luran. However, as you start moving through these hallways, you just start to feel so heavy and exhausted and tired. You know that you do need to have a long. You can speak to him still, but
Has Zarina been found yet?
that's a very funny question as well. Of course. Well, as you kind of leave this room again, outside the door, you see lounging against the wall, looking real good, considering she's been to the Unseelie Court. Zarina smiles and says, I've been eavesdropping on both of your conversations.
Oh.
I thought it would be more fun.
Well, then you know exactly what I intend to do now.
I do.
Thoughts, feelings. Aiden?
Does Zarina know why Alstaer wants to do this? Because I don't think she was there for the hostage taking.
I think we can have Alstaer go.
Also will recount, as I think he'll like gesture for Zarina to walk with him towards where Luran is and fill her in on what happened.
Zarina says, you're very lucky that my specialty lies up in the mind and not externally like Luran. Evocation is never really my.
Yeah, he likes to blow things up.
I know. Alstaer, I can't lie to you when I say that there is no way to downplay how dangerous this might be.
I know.
Please be aware that even if it is undone, the mark on the mind will remain.
I know.
Treat this as last chance.
I know. I'm going to speak to him, and if he agrees, then I'll leave it to you.
Do you think he'll agree?
I don't know. It's all I can think of to protect him and protect everyone else. Cruel had other ideas, but this is my idea.
Well, I think I might go and apologise to Snail on my son's behalf if she's still awake.
Well, she did drop off straight back to sleep, but if you wanted to see her first thing in the morning,
I would. Quite.
Would you mind performing the magic if Luran agrees, just so he can sleep it off? I know it's a lot to ask, but I have to.
It's a good thing you're family.
I'll owe you a favour.
Luran had to get that from somewhere. Maybe I'll go to the Cass and wait. We can drink.
Okay.
No, I shouldn't drink before. God, You're all making my life quite boring.
Maybe you should go have a cup of tea.
I'll go ask if he wants a cup of tea.
Lils, just quickly, if Luran agrees and you're planning on doing it tonight, then can we just retcon that Cass has given you the letter for Luran now? Because obviously, if he's had his memory wiped and wakes up to the letter in the morning, he might be a bit like, what?
What?
I'm just going to go to the loo.
That's a great fanfiction you wrote.
I'm just going to go to the loo. Do you want to think about what the letter's going to say? I'll be right back.
Yeah, I will send it to you in a minute. Also, I keep putting up a bloody picture frame and the hook is not enough to do it. I might actually have to put a hammer in the wall. But look!
See? What is that?
So this was painted by me, for me by Holly.
Oh yeah.
And then this, so we, as part of like our English course and my masters, we got to go to a printing press. So I printed that.
Oh, that's so cool. Wow.
And I was like, why not put them both up? Because
I like
also my friend did this one because she was like, it's the bisexual colours.
Wow, I love it.
And I was like, we could put a massive fuck above that then, that works.
Oh, yeah, you do give a fuck.
Oh, it's Basil!
I like your little hairpins.
How hair is one of my
Really?
Basil.
Basil is here. Schuster.
He's so fluffy.
Do you want to see his magic trick?
Yeah. Oh.
You can just pull hairs off him.
Yeah,
And
it's
there's
a
so much.
bit distressing, isn't it?
A bit distressing. Should we do it again? Wow. It just keeps coming.
Yeah.
And it don't stop coming, and it don't stop coming, and it don't stop.
Basil.
Basil. Oh, he's gone.
Reach my Basil.
Does he want water? No.
He wants to bother people.
Bothersome.
Yes, Alstaer will have the letter.
Perfect.
And he will read it before he gives it to Luran, I think.
Yeah.
Just to
Yeah.
make sure that he's not further hurting Luran right before this happens.
Yeah.
Okay. As Alstaer reads the letter, Cass, what does he read?
He reads, Luran,
Oh,
I want you to know I want you to know that I love you and that what I say I do not say out of malice or any desire to hurt you. You are my family, and what you did to me in the mansion I do not hold against you. You are not the only member of my family to hurt me, and I know I've hurt you too. I will always be there for you, but what you did to Sleer and what you said about them is something that's going to take a long time to forgive. The decisions we make at this time is not always right ones, but it should never be to hurt each other. And I'm sorry that about what happened to everyone, to all of us. But what happened to Sia is not okay.
Okay.
Alstair will keep the letter for now, and he'll let himself back into the room that he's sharing with Luran.
Okay. Luran is in there. And he hasn't really moved. He's only just kind of kicked off his shoes and slumped back onto the bed. And he kind of twitches when you.
Your mum's back.
She's safe.
She seems fine.
As expected.
I spoke to Sarza. And everyone, really. Actually, I've spoken to everyone.
What about
Lala!
Lala? You spoke about Lala?
We spoke about Lala.
Lala is So sweet. Guys, I think everybody gets the wrong impression of Lar. Because around other people, he just runs away.
He's really shy.
But
He didn't run away from me.
He didn't run away from you. No. Do you want to know something about Lar? He loves tents.
He loves being safe.
He loves being under a blanket. That's
Yeah.
There's a blanket on that now.
Yeah. And his little tail you just see wandering around all the time. He's like, anyway. Alstaer will sit down next to Luran in the bed.
Okay.
I
Don't worry about it.
I have been thinking about Emma.
Sorry, Lala. It was distracting.
This is a serious conversation.
Go on.
Don't break my immersion.
I've been thinking about
I've been thinking about how to help in a better way than what I discussed before.
Do go on.
Well, oh no, please stop. Just considering, I think you're going to put yourself in danger. And I think that by doing that, I will be in danger. Everyone else will be in danger.
You would have been there.
Not from you necessarily. I want you to be in a safe space inside your head tomorrow. And I thought, with Serena's help,
I'm sorry. That's your alarm.
Thanks for my alarm. Take my antidepressants. It's a good timing. I would like to posit that we turn your mind back a little bit. Far enough that you would not feel the way you do right now.
He sits up and kind of puts his elbows on his knees and sits like this.
I don't mean the way about me and making you forget me. That was a terrible idea, and I apologise. I mean just turning it back far enough that you aren't in extreme mental anguish over this whole situation.
Luran just says, I know that you've just added that caveat, but I did want to mention this anyway, so I suppose there's no better time than now.
Mm.
You know you have actually made my life. I mean, I think you do know. You're just refusing to acknowledge it right now. And I think you didn't intend this meaning. But I want it to be very clear. I never want to go back to the life that I led before I met you. So let's leave that there.
Yeah.
And with that acknowledgement also comes a piece of advice for you. My most beautiful, devastatingly handsome husband. Don't center yourself as the problem or the source of everyone's troubles. That's going to hurt more people than just you.
I can work on that.
talk to me more about your plan?
It would involve having Serena temporarily wind your memory back to a point where you would be able to go into this fight with a clearer emotional conscience. I don't want you to forget me at all. I would want it to be a point where we still were. I mean, I loved you for a long time. I guess a point where you loved me, but not to the point where you wanted to, take me to Titania. A point where your mind was in less danger. And I would be happy to put in any caveats that you wanted. And of course, I would protect you. And I would tell you anything you wanted to be aware of, like the fact that we're married or that we have children, or that you and Cass aren't, cats and dogs anymore, most of the time.
I need you to roll me a persuasion check. Okay, straight.
Oh! 24!
24?
Yeah.
This answer is going.
Oh no.
Luran looks kind of dark, and he says, "Can I sleep? I don't know. I don't know yet.
The difficulty is that we have to leave tomorrow.
What am I getting at?"
I do genuinely believe it would be safer going forward like this.
You don't want me as I am.
Don't say that. You know that's not true.
Maybe not to you. I know just doing Cass.
Luran, you need to understand that what happened with Slee is not okay.
She was never in any danger.
Slee didn't know that. She must have been terrified at the thought that someone she trusted and loved was going to hurt her. And I know who you are. I would let you point a knife at me and I know that I would not be in danger. But they're not me. And I think it would be easier for you and for them to rewind a little bit. Just for a couple of days. And then afterwards you can take me anywhere to heal with you.
You know, it's funny because I'm always the one who makes concessions. I thought that if I gave it more time and I let you, all of you, carry on with your path, that eventually it would be enough. And that we would get to the end of this and we'd still have pieces of ourselves. But this hasn't happened. What's the deal?
We still have pieces. I love you more than ever. I love my friends more than ever. And I'm better than I was. I'm speaking for myself. I can't say for you. I can see the end. I can see after the end. That's where I want to get to. I want to be able to see everyone in the Feywild and the material plane. I want to be able to take my children out on the ice and show them how to skate in the Messiah. I want to take them to a prayer, go through the Green Sea on the way to Eldrelith, like we did back then, in Ironstone to your store. I want to go on the Valentine again. I can see all of those things. Still.
Luran doesn't say anything. And I mean, it's hard to.
They're wrestling on the floor next to us. You're right there.
They just do this every now and again.
They do this almost every night. And then they cuddle.
I'm gonna hug them this weekend. I'm so excited.
Yay!
Smush, smush.
We need to cut their nails, actually.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, they've broken. They've broken up.
Yeah.
I think after a long silence, Luran will say, I am not any worse than them, and they are no better than me. We all just manifest these same pains in different ways.
I know that.
So I will accept this with caveat. But
Okay.
have another weave in a trigger that if you fall unconscious, the spell is undone.
Okay.
And if there's any chance you might die, then I need to know what's. I can't be laissez-faire.
There's never been a point where I believe that you would let me die.
No.
Even back when you didn't pronounce my name properly.
No. I'm not the only one who is being unreasonable or is acting in a way which maybe unreasonable is too strong a word, is not good for them.
Okay.
I don't think I need to stop. But if this is the extent we go to save me and you, then I expect you'll try just as hard to Sleer. Her sacrifice, well, I'm sure it deserves to be as interrogated as mine.
I don't believe that Sleer's gods will ask this of her. I just don't know if Sleer can see that yet.
Well, I'm being given the gift of clearer vision. I wonder what we can do for her. And as for Cass, There's a balm in my bag. Specifically for burns. I won't know too.
Alstaer will retrieve the balm.
And that's it.
Okay. Cass, wanted me to give you a letter. It's, she's quite hurt about what happened, but you know she loves you like her family.
He holds out a hand for the letter.
He'll pass over the letter. I don't think he thinks it's too scathing.
Okay.
I will get Zarina and tell her these caveats.
All right. You do so. And Zarina, unless there's anything specific you want to say to Zarina.
I think he'll also give Zarina the balm to give to Cass, seeing as Zarina was going to find Cass after anyway.
She will spin it around her finger, drop it, and then pick it up. And then nod and just agree. Now, just so that I'm aware of the timeline of things. Cass, would you have been awake for a cup of tea?
Yeah, I don't think Cass would have fallen asleep.
Zarina
But I
will
do
open
think
the door.
Cass would have spiked her own tea and made it.
Stunning. We're having tea cocktails. Beautiful. She opens the door and is just like, "Hey, Cass, you look like you've been traumatized."
I think seeing Zarina appear, Cass is going to very gently leave the bed because there is no way Zarina is going to be subtle. So I think Cass is going to
Arms for
give Yeah, I think Cass gives Leah a little kiss on the head and then quietly leaves and then gives Zarina a big fat cuddle and it's just like, life is shit. She doesn't actually say that, but that is the vibe behind the hug.
Beautiful. She carries you princess style down to the fire and wraps you up in shoe and then pulls out a teapot and a tea set. But I think you know well enough that it's not just tea in there. And as you sort of spike it, she says, "I knew exactly what you would probably spike and made sure to prepare a tea which would go quite well with it. And I also brought," and she picks up a rose liqueur and pours it in a little bowl. Just for fun. A little bit fancy, before the end of or not.
Cass gives it a tiny sip and sorry, she goes like tiny blow and then just downs it in one.
Beautiful, stunning, brilliant. My darling. Hello. Now, I've been to the Feywild. Great. Very good. You're going to love living there for the rest of your days once it's all done. I wanted to pull you aside very quickly just to make sure you understood what you might need to do going forwards. Now, who has your contract?
Question, who does currently have Cass's contract?
I believe it's Sorelleras.
Yeah, I think it's Sorellas as well.
If you answer to that extent.
Let me rephrase that and start that again. Sorellas has my contract.
Very good. He says, okay, well, if Sorelleras has your contract, when things start getting desperate vis-a-vis Mela, vis-a-vis going to Feyway, she kind of looks around and then waves her hand off. I don't care if they hear this. You don't want them to have that over you. Get it before you go. Just in case. I'm becoming more and more aware of the way they do things. And I think it's best if you just hold your cards close.
I agree. And Cass casts a bit of a glare to the walls.
they all open their eyes and then think, no. Ooh, I'm gonna write that down. The walls open their eyes. I think that sounds nice.
Well, that's a bit too dark now.
Dark.
Dark.
Yes, please, chocolate. At which point, she clears her throat and then she says, and to the next thing. Now, I'm aware that your life post, well, this quest might be somewhat trapped in the realm of fate. How do you feel about that?
Conflicted.
Okay.
Well, on one hand, I have been to Titania's court, and it is a lovely place. And I'm not unhappy about spending eternity there. I'm just unhappy that I might not finish what I need to do in the material plane first.
I thought that might be the case. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard of meditation. I don't know if you've heard of this. I'm a bit scared now. I don't know if you've heard of this position before, but at Titania's court, there is often a messenger. You or your friends may have encountered someone like this before, but they are people who create gates between the worlds and do exactly as you say. Pass messages on to other realms of deity. Whilst I was in the Unseelie court, the brief moment that it was, being the person that I am and the closeness between those two realms, I did manage to speak to some interesting people. If you like, I might be able to try and get you a better position. It might be slow. In fact, it may never happen, but it may mean that you are allowed to move between the planes a little bit more than you would otherwise. Would you be interested in that?
I would. And thank you for thinking of it. I had a thought as well, but I don't know if this is possible.
Go on.
After this is all done, and before I go to Titania's realm indefinitely. Oh, Anna's arriving.
Hello.
That role sounds great, and it's something that I think I'd enjoy. But I wondered if before that I could act as a sort of emissary for Titania in this realm. The sisterhood is something that we've encountered, and I would quite like to, if not stop, then definitely hinder. And I thought I could do the service in Titania's name, which prevents other people gaining more power and becoming anything close to rival her. And also, if the children choose to, they might choose to do stuff in service of her name. Obviously, that would have to be a choice they make, but I would not force that upon anyone. But
She nods, considering, and then says, wow. It's a hard sell. There are many who eat from her table who never even leave the realm. The position I was considering would have taken you a century perhaps to achieve. But of course, many of those who you love would have a slightly less immortal lifespan. So, not ideal. If there is a way for you to jump the queue, I will seek it out. Definitely. But might be worth considering that with the way things work in Fairy, in the courts, the price to pay for such leniency will be very high and demanding of you. And she kind of looks at you and says, I know you've given up a lot already, but assuming that you are whole again once this is all done, not to be punny, be prepared to make more sacrifices than you already have.
I understand.
I'll do everything I can. But it's good to know that you're at the very least interested in what I was suggesting before. If all else fails, there's a way.
If all else fails, I ate from the table to help my family. And if I had to do it again, I would. So if at the end of it all, the only thing I get is to live out my life there, it is not such a bad place to live. If I can get anything else on top of that, then that would be a boon that I would gladly have.
Nods. And then raises her drink to you. At which point, Louis, you've been sort of sleeping on the sofa and you kind of stir.
Sleepy Anna.
And you kind of stir to the sound of clinking glasses. At which point Zarina looks over and offers you, would you like a nightcap before you go to bed properly? It is
Okay, right. God, what was Bluey doing just before she slept?
Everyone was stressed and sad.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah, she'll take it.
Luran.
Yeah.
Bluey, you are offered, would you like alcohol or no?
Blue will accept.
Slowly starts tipping. You can say no.
Yeah, no, that's.
Okay.
Thank you.
You have a nice warm cup of tea, and Shu kind of rustles and looks up, and you see Alstaer appearing over the banister. Alstaer, you see Cass and Serena together.
Alstair kind of just nods at the both of them.
Bluey is also there.
He waves at Bluey. And he will nod more firmly at Zarina.
Serena puts down her chocolate and says, that's my cue. At which point, she leaves the teapot. She leaves the rose liquor. She pats Shu and then heads upstairs.
We didn't decide on the exact time, but I'm sure Luran will be able to specify one.
Tell me what I need. And on that door closes behind you. And you can all sleep wherever you wish to sleep, in whatever way or manner you wish, and take a long rest. Remember how I tried to start the session on that? an hour and 30 minutes ago? Woohoo! Fun stuff.
And should I tell them the point that we're recycling? Around to?
Leave them to figure it out.
Okay.
Oh. Louis.
Really?
Where do you sleep?
Okay. Would is if she went up and looked around, would she see that like Slee is absolutely exhausted, wants to be alone, or is already sleeping?
It's already asleep.
Okay. I think Blue would kind of. I assume there's multiple beds there. Blue
Oh,
would,
there's many beds. There's many rooms. You can
Yeah.
sleep wherever you like.
I think she'd. Yeah. I assume that's where Cass has also been. I think Blue would go into there.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Right. So, as you rest, take the effects of a long rest, wipe away your exhaustion. Your dreams are hazy. And I mean that literally. You kind of wonder whether you're fully asleep or not. Whether what you're seeing is real or whether it's entirely in your head. The one thing that is constant is that there's just a gentle mist hanging around your mind and potentially physically around you as well. How do you feel when you see that?
I think Blue's sort of wondering if this is the like the mind mist that she sometimes kind of that she tries to explain to herself how her memories work, or if this is the friendly mist that wants to take her places to all about the Shadowfell and such. So she's mostly anxious, but also wanting to stick this out. If she's asleep, she doesn't want to wake up yet.
Okay.
Yeah. But
In your mind, as this mist intensifies, you feel your body kind of moving of its own accord. My computer's about to die. But hang on. I will get back to your really dramatic, important scenes. Once this is not gonna destroy us.
I appreciate the charge of wrangling. I hear the garbage truck.
So, as you drift, you feel your body starting to kind of come back to its, and you feel the urge to sit up. You're not entirely in control of yourself. And as you sit up, you start to pull yourself into a standing position, and you walk through this mist. And in the mist, you see glimpses of memory. Not lost memories, but memories a bit more recent than the ones Melas would have taken from you. You see the not the dread domain. You see the Shadowfell, the bright colours of the Vistani caravan, and a blue dragonborn. In fact, two blue dragonborns. Yourself and Lapis. You hear in your mind, I slipped through the cracks. And then, in a more desperate voice, we made our home on a graveyard. Both things you remember Lapis saying to you. And then you walk further through your memory and everything gets cold again. And you see half ice, half man, yourself standing devastated before him, Dadalan. And
I think Blue would say to herself, "Oh fuck, that was brutal."
sorry, my iPad just went off my note. Annoying. Hang on a second. Yeah.
They're yelling.
Sorry. Okay.
It's okay.
As you see Dadalan and yourself talking as you did in the King's Trial, you remember what he said. About siblings, other children, other people who were lost. And then, as the mist is wont to do, it consumes your vision. And all at once it pulls back. And you see a doorway. Etched above it, markings you recognize to be the crying eyes of Carmentrand. And you see yourself opening that door. And again, you feel that pull to walk towards it. Only this time, when you walk, the bluey in front of you doesn't move. And you move until you collide and then merge with this past or dream version of yourself. And you are opening a door. And you look out, and in front of you, seated, but apparently waiting for you, you see two figures, one of whom appears to be shadowed in grey, almost as if they're copied and pasted from a black and white image, and the other far more real. You recognize both. One is Lapis, and the other is Solari, the cleric of Carmentrand that you remember.
Which one's vaguely copied and which one's photorealistic?
Photorealistic would be Solari, vaguely copied would be Lapis. You get the impression that's left over from the show. And unlike before with the other memories, you can interact with this. There is a place for you to sit beside them if you wish. Would you like to?
Hi, can I take this?
Sorry, could you just repeat that last bit?
Hi, can I take this seat?
Lapis looks over at you and says, "Please do, yes." And Solari doesn't say anything, but looks stone-faced. Uncomfortable would be a good way.
Okay. Mm.
You sit down, and you notice as you sit that they're sitting around a very low Japanese-style table, I guess, Kotatsu style, with their feet folded under them on the floor. And You kind of wait, and after a moment, Solari says, I've been thinking ever since we met. If you recall, and it was quite some time ago, I was not entirely willing to help. But much time has passed, and you must understand the people of Melas, it takes far longer for them to become aware of any wrongdoings or mistreatment or affairs of the outside world. Such is the curse on our land. Acolytes of Carmentran, my own religion, they believed, as I told you before, that a sacrifice, a constant sacrifice, was necessary to keep Melas pretty. And as such, the ritual was formed. A vessel was necessary to preserve the prosperity of life above ground, and so on and so on. But I can tell you now, at last, thanks to the efforts of people I know to be your friends, and, well, I suppose, thanks to strange dreams and mists that have been plaguing people of Melas recently. Only now are things starting to change, and the cracks beginning to show. I had a vision. It came to me in a mist-filled dream. I see down in the tears behind the waterfall holes in reality, torn open in the past by a great calamity. Now, with speaking to Lapis, I know to be the dragon plague. And all of those things that came with that. And you can understand that she's referring to my favourite piece of lore, Leoberos and his many paladins, blah, 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 blah. I realise now that the thing that is keeping the rifts closed or stable down there is not our sacrifice. Followers of Carmentrand have been gone from Melas for almost a year now. A whole year. Do you know what happens to every single person living during the course of a year? Without exception.
Well, if they see if they see that no one taking the ritual doesn't actually
Change anything.
change anything.
Lapis nods. It took this long because it had to. That's where we failed. And that's why Marlene has been hitting against so many brick walls. Louis Sparks. I think you're far from me, Solari said. And I think someone's coming. Or may try to take me. The mists have shown me that much. They have a way of moving between the planes, unaffected by outside forces. And I've seen things, learned things that I never would have known. And I think they're warning me now. My time might be short. And that's not on you if you don't get here. I won't run, Louis Sparks. I will meet whatever fate comes to me. But if the worst is to happen, through my dreams, and through meeting someone, and she looks over at Lapis, who knows the mists better than I want to remind you of something in your possession, which, if all else fails, and I don't survive the coming days, will take you where you need to go.
Is Bluey able to reach into her pockets for the lapis?
You can,
All right, she'll take it out. Is this? She'll look to lapis, not lapis, but lapis.
She smiles and says, hold on to that and the mists can guide you. Once you get inside, I recommend praying to whichever god you choose.
That's never a good thing.
And then you watch as in this dream, she suddenly starts and looks over her shoulder and then looks back at Lapis and reaches out and holds your hand, Bluey. And she, as solid as she looks, cannot touch you. Then she pulls back. And she says, Carmen Trent is a dying god. I don't know about you. I kind of think God's supposed to. So this is fine. This is fine. At which point her image begins to blur. And rather than waiting until she fades, she starts to move out and let the mists disappear her. Unless you have something you want to say.
She'll just say, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Thank you. If you hadn't come to find me all those months ago, I don't know if I would be here. And then she steps away, leaving Lapis who says, "I'll be waiting on the other side."
Thank you.
And then also starts to move away. Hey, Lala.
Mhm.
He's playing with the wrestler.
Oh no.
Do you have anything you want to say to Lapis before she leaves?
I think we will also like gesture out with her hand, even though it's not. This isn't a tactile, you know.
Very
thing.
pissed. Lapis takes. And then she says, looking around at the mist, they work of their own accord, all of these, but people like me, we have a little influence. I've been watching you. I've been trying to help.
I've seen. I didn't realize, but I've seen.
No. I wish we were family. I wish I could have. I wish I could have told you what you wanted to hear. And she hesitates and she just says, I've been slowly unraveling my memories. Slowly. I know enough. Thankfully now without the images of it. When this is all done, if it's possible for me to return, if you know a way, I'd quite like to see my home again.
I'll do my absolute best.
With that, she'll step away. And Bluey, you start awake, and you are standing at the front door of Sororas's mansion with your hand on the handle.
Uh-oh.
And Sorellas is watching you from the corner of your eye. You can see them sitting in an armchair, just curious, like.
As usual, Sorellas, thanks for helping.
I was out, right? I just come in here?
I certainly saw you move. Though you were a little hazy. Do you know
Was I
what that was?
was I talking or something?
You were saying quite a lot out loud.
Okay.
I didn't understand much. My ears perked when I heard Dragonfly.
Hang on, I didn't say Dragonfly. Wait, did you hear other voices?
Perhaps on the wind. Funny considering we're in a closed off room with no environment around it. if you tried to exit this plane in search of an environment, you would just be sucked into void.
Okay. All right. Next time I dream, I'm gonna lock myself in a room and do it in such a way that it would be too complicated to unlock with me walking around else.
I recommend putting the key in an ice block. That way you'll have to melt before you can open the door. And with that, Cerellaras closes the book they were holding in their lap, clears away the plates, and heads up. You can go back to sleep if you wish to, Bluey. Oh, yeah.
Lala's going mad.
He's crazy, right?
Okay,
You may all
we will
take-
go back to sleep.
Yeah. You may all take a long rest. Now, Alstaer.
Alstaer?
I won't go too deep, because we've had so many memory wrecking scenes.
He will hold Luran's hand through it all.
I think, considering how intense the situation going on here is, you see Luran slowly fog and then just fall asleep in front of you. And Zarina pulls back and you can join him in rest.
Okay.
It looks cute.
It's because it keeps getting in my eyes.
Cute. The next morning, do I assume you all have breakfast downstairs by the fire? Yeah.
Probably,
Wonderful.
yeah.
Unless we wake up as a confused person.
I've inhaled chocolate.
No. Make sure they don't eat that.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Are you actually?
For my
You
own
don't-
player information, has
Yes.
anything magically happened to Luran regarding his memories?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
He has had
Does
them.
Bluey know this?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, Anna, you weren't here. Also, talk to everyone about it.
Okay.
You would know this. Now, Alstair, you experience a moment of deja vu as you wake up to a bed that is only half full. On the bedside table,
Bloody
Right.
this man. Okay.
you find a little note scrawled.
Oh.
And on the note, you see the words, bit confused, off to find breakfast.
No. Also gets out of bed in pajamas and sprints out the door.
For the rest of you, you hear cluttering as Alstair, like, obviously leaves his room. Do you all come out to see what the fates have given you vis-a-vis Luran?
I think Cass might offer her hand to Sleer to see if she'll be.
Oh my gosh, you're proposing!
Sleer
Get down on one knee. Feralia's like, what?
Dwarf harm.
To see it. Basically, does Sleer want some support, but she doesn't have to take it if she doesn't want to.
Sleia's like, I'm fine.
Cass will give her a small smile then and offer her alcohol instead. Because Cass is definitely going to take a big swig of it before she goes downstairs.
I think Alstaer probably falls down the stairs as he's going.
Great. You
Okay.
look down at the sitting room with the fire, with Shu there. Nobody's there. You listen out, all of you. Bluey, Sleia, Cass, Alstaer. Like, wait. And you hear vaguely down the hall the sound of pots and pans clattering. And you get the sense, the sixth sense that you sometimes get that Sorelleras might be over there as well. And you follow that trail. As you do, you go to a part of the mansion you've never been to before. This seems to be where Sorelleras makes all of their dips and tapenades and foods. Only, it is not only Sorelleras in here. There are 3 people in here. The first we see, obviously, is Sorelleras, standing in the corner, looking quite bemused, lording over the situation. The second is a person you've never met before, whose cheeks are hot pink and dusted in flour.
I know who this is.
They are a little bit plump, quite short, slight receding hairline, just like about here.
Do they look like Martin from Magnus?
Maybe. With like a little baker's hat, an apron on, and mittens, like oven mitts. And they are standing there with a tray of fresh bread, looking perplexed and ruffled. And then you see Luran, who is like sprawled out over the countertops and is just placing like a master gourmet would place his cuisine on plates, putting together the beautiful breakfast. And as you all enter, he turns and he says, You'll never guess what I found in here. There is so much food. And by the way, where are we?
Good morning, Luran.
Good morning, all of my friends and acquaintances. What are you all doing here? I was going to bring breakfast in bed.
What is this place? Who are you? Pointing to the chef.
I think as Bluey says that, I think Cass is going to like message Brian and be like, what does Luran know?
Luran, can I speak to you outside briefly?
No, let's talk here.
Please.
Do you want, shall we leave?
No.
Please, Luran.
Close my ears.
Of course. Everybody, you can take a plate. It's not quite ready, but I suppose you beat me to it.
Thank you.
Alstaer will like drag Luran outside.
No need to hurry, sir.
He just looks back at Cass, gives Cass a very long suffering look and shuts the door.
He winks at Cass as he...
Okay.
Tell me the story behind this when... Okay, and the door is shut.
What's the last thing you remember?
Last thing I remember?
I need to know.
The last thing I vaguely remember is us having a drunken conversation in Ironstone and...
Kaelin's face.
And that's about it. I'm just trying to
Right.
think.
What were we doing? Where were we going? Anything?
That's a little bit hazy. I can tell you a couple of events that led up to.
Do that.
The reason I'm struggling is because this feels very different from what I went to bed
Yeah.
as. There was an uproar outside my shop. I had to get rid of my teleportation circle. Cass's arch nemesis came and started digging holes in the bookshelf. That was funny. I can't wait to bill her for that. I think I had Bluey sign a contract of unpaid labor. It'll be good for her. She needs to build her muscles. Ender's birthday party. How is he, by the way? I wonder if he liked my gift. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I don't know. We had a fairly frank discussion about your mentor. You seem to be quite so we. And the last thing I remember specifically, if you want words, is my iPad just died. The last thing I remember. Fucking hell. They're not on my phone!
Also, is
There it
Sleer
is.
still currently disguised as a tiefling? Or is Sleer... Yeah, okay.
Sleer's always a tiefling, with a little tiefling horn. But we don't know necessarily they're also a drow. The last thing I specifically remember saying is, I can tell you're not in the right mind. Let's talk when you're not out of your head.
What?
That was something in reference to you being drunk, and I said that to you. And so we went to sleep.
Ooh, was this before or after Ender's birthday?
Yeah, of course.
No, that was before. That was before Luran.
Before.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm a bit confused.
Okay. I'm gonna shoot some names at you. You tell me what they mean to you. Sobek? No.
Yeah, no, yeah. No,
Yeah.
he also works in Ironstone.
Yeah, that's correct. Anything else?
I suppose we're slight business rivals.
Right. Karul?
Your mentor. Don't know what's up with him.
Mm-hmm.
They seemed to be ambiguously evil, ambiguously good. Who knows?
Okay.
Slightly suspicious.
Elijah Ashun.
Isn't that Ender's dead dad?
Right. Me. What's my name?
Alstaer gamer.
So I'm gonna just sit you down. He puts Diane on the couch.
Nice. I think it'd be more fun if we did this over breakfast. I'm quite hungry. I feel, and do you want to know something else? This is going to sound really crazy, but I feel like super weak. Like as if I, burnt out after a week long of casting and enchanting objects week. And I don't even know where that's coming from. Kind of crazy. Also, I'm dressed as a courtesan. Why? Did we go to a party?
This is just how you
Am
dress.
I-
This is just how you dress.
No, it's not. I wear vests.
No, you really don't wear vests anymore. So here's the thing, Luran. Before you go back, have we been sent back to session 14? I think so.
I wear vests also.
Luran,
Also.
I need to tell you a couple of things. First of all, look at me. Do I look different from the last time you saw me?
Yes, for a moment, I won't lie, I thought you might have been Lucas, who I've never met.
Wow, okay. First of all, Lucas is like 6 foot tall.
You're like... No, you're not.
No. You're not even 6 foot tall.
Critics say otherwise.
I think you're 5'11" in heels.
I think...
Just saying. So about a year and a half has passed since your last memory. I'm just going to leave that there. Things have slightly changed with the situation. These are
Offsetting.
like offsetting. We are in a mansion owned by a dragon.
Ooh, okay.
Yes.
I'm liking where this is going. Actually,
The dragon was the one you were making breakfast with.
They can be a human too.
I don't know who the short man was.
That's Gerald.
Gerald.
Honestly, that's the first person.
Right. Anyway, what else do you need to know? Everyone in our party is in a bit of a sad state because we've been fighting to prevent the end of the world for like a year.
I mean, but like you were doing that before anyway, kind of. So I mean,
yes, but now the man Elijah Ashun has taken over Enderashune's body and is trying to open up rifts that will bring Tiamat through.
No, I don't believe it. That seems like a stretch. That's like,
No,
that's, I think,
No, if you
No.
looked outside that door, you would see that I'm in fact telling the truth. The entire planar system is in chaos. That's why we're in here.
Okay.
Yes.
Anything else?
Well, those are the most important things. We're going to go stop Elijah from destroying everything.
Okay.
That
seems like a big job.
Yes, but
Seems like a big job.
But we're going to do it because we're the best people for the job.
Are we though? I feel like maybe.
No, we really are. We really are actually the best people for the job. It's a bit sad. Your mum's here.
Okay, I might write to some of my colleagues and friends and tell them to put out feelers for some adventurers just to help us out.
No, we don't. We have time for that. That we literally have 24 hours.
Okay.
So,
I haven't seen my mum in like years. Where is she?
She's going to be at breakfast probably.
Oh, I should have made a question for her.
I'm not done yet.
I have to talk to her about things.
Sarah's is also here. Your
Why?
brother, because he is one of our best friends.
Why? He's horrible.
No, he's not.
Can you shut up and actually listen to me? He's my brother. I know what he's like. You've seen him.
Don't tell me to shut up. That's very rude.
I'm sorry.
Sarah's
Sorry, I just get very incensed when it comes to him. You know that I know what he's like.
I know that you know what he's like. I know that you chucked Neff into the ocean. I know that he was very upset about that. But it's all bygones be bygones, and now you're very good friends.
He told you all about that?
You and him and Neff, and we discovered it, and we went to Kalkan, and we talked to Neff's mother. We need to move quickly, Luran. So this is fine. You can talk to him later if you have any further stuff you want to say. But he loves you very, very much, and he wants to protect and care for you. Just so you know.
Okay. Before we move on, I want to bring it back down to just you because I feel like we have quite the connection. I don't want to spoil that. He takes. I'm sorry. I'm not very happy. I was just very much suddenly confronted by the fact that, you mentioned my brother's. I don't really. It's something that you clearly know quite a lot. Maybe you don't know the exact incident. We have quite a fraught relationship.
I know.
Okay.
Yes, I'm aware. Thank you for your apology. Moving on.
Should we maybe involve the others in this conversation? Because I want this to be corroborated somehow.
Yes, I just have 2 more things to tell you before we go back.
Okay, I think I need. Okay, keep going.
Karul is also here. He tried.
Okay.
He was in a very bad mood and did some bad things, but then he came back and now he's helping us. Except he's not going to come to the final fight because we have a contract, and if he gets hit, then I die.
Oh,
So-
that's weird. Why would you do that? Sounds so silly.
I don't know. It was kind of silly. It was a bit of a spur of the moment thing. Anyway, he's not going to be coming.
You can ponder on that.
Yeah.
Should I introduce myself to him, or have I already done?
You can introduce yourself again.
Sure. I'll.
His husband's with him. They have a child.
Oh.
I don't know if he's
So,
married. It's kind of really
changes
unclear.
things slightly. Is this a man?
No.
I never met this man. Well, no, I think I did. I think I knew him like maybe a couple of decades ago, but I meet a lot of people. The name Karul is vaguely on my radar, I think.
He was my mentor for like 20 years.
Yeah, I think I was the one who kind of set that up, Loki.
Wow. Anyway,
Crazy.
Luran, that's all you need to know about that.
Okay, cool.
Also, you have 2 children.
Just gonna, not that we're married, just that you have 2 children.
It doesn't start with that.
So, like skipping over something.
Sorry. Luran goes from like, oh.
Yeah. 2 children. Are you okay? He waves his hand in front of Luran's face. Are you alright?
He slowly just starts to just like going catatonic.
Luran, he claps. We don't have time for this.
I was worried this might happen.
Were you?
Does Brian want to mention that they're also his children?
He's just waiting. He's just looking at Luran like,
Okay. Can I want to just pause.
mm-hmm,
Takes your hands.
mm-hmm.
Will you just do me a favor?
Oh, yes.
Will you stay here?
No.
Promise?
What do you want to
just
do?
want to go do one thing. I'm just going to go back through that door. I'm going to close the door, and then I'm going to come right back out. Promise you won't move.
You promise you'll come back?
Of course. Never break up.
Okay.
Luran leaves, opens the door. All of you are there. He closes the door. Alstaer has gone insane. I don't know what to tell you all. I'm trying to deal with the situation right now, but when you exit, it is very important that you play into his delusion. If you don't, his mind could shatter. I play into it, but I need all of your support. I love you all. And
Luran?
Yes.
Before you go,
Uh-huh.
I look a little bit different to when you went to sleep last night, no?
You look a little bit
Yeah,
different.
Luran would be able to
that's
see.
also-
Yeah, I feel like looking around, we all look like a haggard, tired, sad mess.
I won't lie.
Bags of real.
You guys have lost a little bit of your sparkle. That's you can't get back. That is nothing you can't get back.
Motivational speaker, Luran.
Luran?
I have a pocket wardrobe filled with clothes. Apparently one less courtesan outfit, but I promised Alstaer to go back immediately. What is it?
I don't know how Brian has been breaking some news to you, but I would say that there aren't any delusions currently.
You do, in fact, have 2 children.
Can I roll a persuasion to try and get a little bit?
You can, yes. I am going to do one thing before you do that, which
for it.
is Bluey and Slayer. You immediately get a mind message, and you it just hit. You just hear. Did Cass also get infected?
Slia does not answer.
Or I also rolled almost the best I can roll, which would have been a 19, but it's a 37.
Stunning, beautiful, brave.
I think Bluey would just message back. I mean, maybe we're all deluded, man.
Leaves the room, closes the door, turns back to Alstaer.
Also sitting on the couch. How was that?
Right, let me explain. I was going through a lot of shit and I wasn't taking good care of myself. And maybe I made some mistakes,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not Sarasa.
Mm.
I own up to my mistakes.
Mm.
Jesus,
Do you know how much you're paying in child support?
I do not.
Luran, you're destitute. Luran, I'm joking. They're my children. We're married. He holds up his ring.
Seems a bit fast.
It's been almost 2 years.
Hmm.
Also, you proposed to me.
I would like
Mm-hmm.
to see proof of for myself.
What do you mean?
I would like to see what. I would like to meet these children.
They're not born yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since it's a recent thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to have a roundtable discussion with you and all of your colleagues. I'm going to go sit by the fire, and you can come to me.
Also opens the kitchen door.
Okay or not. Hello, everybody. Look, it's this. Have you met Gerald before?
Everyone
Gerald
come
Weiss.
in, sit round the fire. Let's eat breakfast.
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Luran Dehane.
No, it's not.
What do you mean?
Your name is Luran Gameltane.
Not Dehane Game One?
No.
But my name is so beautiful.
Are you saying mine's not?
Well, no, I'm joking. Or am I? You'll never know. I'm simply referring to the saying that Luran Dehane, the man himself, is a lyric. It is well known. It is unbroken in its original format. Okay.
I've had some rather interesting additions to that song anyway.
Okay, so, right, let's just go around the circle and reintroduce ourselves. Hello, I'm Luran.
Go on.
Game One, Dehane.
Mm-hmm.
And so apparently we're going to a world-ending event. And you all are dressed that way because you choose to, or you just have given up.
Also still in his pajamas.
Okay.
But I just want to like the laughter isn't necessarily in character.
That's just funny.
I'm going to put out some bold statements, and you guys can tell me yes or no questions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm alive.
Mhm.
I'm not in hell.
Why would this be hell, Luran?
Stuck in a liminal space where everything I believe to be true is false.
You're meaner than I remember.
No, I'm just really confused. Right.
This is not hell.
Okay. Am I in Elysium? As in like heaven?
No.
As in like no. Don't think I'm gonna be up there anyway. Okay. Am I still rich?
Yeah, but I'm richer.
Oh, thank God. Okay, I was really worried about you and your prospects. Okay. Are any of my family dead? Nice. I've made it through pretty well. Okay. You say the world is ending.
Mm.
Can you tell me more? Anyone? Oh, the rest of you are being very quiet. I miss the sounds of your voice.
Rifts are being destabilized.
I think Cass will just hold up her arm at the mention of riffs, and it's just like loo 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 loo.
Very not good. Okay, that's fun. Funky fresh.
This is thanks to Elijah.
Okay, so
who
Elijah is a real problem.
Yes, but he looks like Ender.
Why is that?
He possessed
Because
Ender's
he
body.
possessed Ender's body.
Ew.
Mm.
Yep.
I only just found out that I was a dad, and I'm already not a better one. Okay.
You did ask if it was hell. I will be telling both our children that.
Look, put yourself in my shoes. And also remember the way you phrased that. You didn't tell me we were married and they were your children first. You
Also
said
just smiles.
2 children.
Yes, I did. We need a good laugh sometime.
True. Okay. How's my business going?
Mm.
You don't know?
There's bigger things to discuss, Luran.
Absolutely not.
I think
I
someone
s-
else is running it for you.
Okay. Bluey's
I
off.
still owe that debt, don't worry.
Oh, you haven't worked it off. Okay, why don't we pencil in? Come talk to me after. I have my diary somewhere, I'm sure. Come and pencil in a time with me because I do need that.
Like in a few months. I think I'm if everything's still where they are, then I'm free in a few months, definitely.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Perfect. Brilliant. Well then, this sounds a little bit less scary and daunting than as I originally thought. So let me try again. And he passes out on the table.
Oh.
Just head first into a bowl of soup.
Alstaer will go and pick him up. Luran, He brushes the soup off. Luran, come on.
Prestidigitation. I'm fine. I just needed that. Okay. I choose to believe you all.
Thank you.
I have no idea what's going on. So I don't know how helpful I'm going to be in this whole situation. I also didn't make Cruel or his husband breakfast because I did not know this. Or my brother because he doesn't deserve it. I also didn't know he was.
Saros is really nice.
You're all wrong.
No, he's lovely.
Can you actually stop saying that? Because it's not true.
Alstaer looks at people to back up.
Like, he's literally the best of us.
Wow.
A lot has changed.
I can tell. Okay. I'll play along with whatever trick he's pulling.
Where is Saros actually?
Smash cut to Sarah snoring.
I'll go get him. Then Alstair trots off.
Don't be alone with him for too long. He's not very nice.
He's one of my best friends.
He's been mean to you.
No, he hasn't.
Yes, he has.
I forgot about it. He's gone.
As you go to get Sarah, Luran looks at the rest of you and just says, I think I'm a little bit wild. I'm really sorry if I'm acting inappropriate or too rude. I made this breakfast for you in good faith. Most just because I noticed I could hear you all snoring and I thought you might.
Thank you.
Sleo, you're being really boring.
Doesn't know that her name's Slea. It's Astra.
Astra, you're being really boring.
Slea.
Slea.
Nope, she doesn't correct him.
Okay, Astra. Sorry.
Well,
okay.
Bluey
Yes,
would.
thank you for
Okay.
breakfast. No, it's fine.
Luran lost Leah privilege.
Yeah, Alstair probably recognizes that Slea is fully masking in front of Luran.
Sick. Luran says, well, it is... I can walk you through it. I don't know if you've ever been to Kelkan, anyone? Wait, was that another one of those moments where my current knowledge of your situation is very devoid from what you've been through and experienced yourselves?
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, you know what? I'm reading some vibes, so I'm going to just throw this out there. If I have been horrible to any of you, I'm sorry. Ooh, going well. How about this? Would you all like a plot of land?
I don't think, Luran, I know this is confusing for you, and I'm sorry that we're not the same people that you remember, but there's been a lot that's happened, and this version of you has arrived at a pretty bad time, so don't expect the same sort of people that we used to be.
Okay. What I'm understanding from what you're putting out is that you've all been through a lot of shit. And strange you are. But let me throw this right back. Nothing can really change who you are fundamentally. Beneath all of the things that have happened to you, all the horror, you're still there. And if my only purpose in being here is to draw that out of you all again, then why not? If you can't do it for yourselves, I'll provide a little levity for you. Sorry, Slea. I mean, Astra. What was that?
By all means.
Well then.
God, the frostiness is literally like, oh, it's terrible.
My dear Astra, what can I do for you this morning?
Absolutely nothing. We can get on the road.
What I'm hearing is we can get on the road, which means I can provide you with transport. Luckily, I've been talking with Serenus over here, who is a very charming fellow. I assume he has ulterior motives, so I have paid them off quite well. Regardless, they apparently can get us where we need to.
Perfect.
Where would you like to go?
Feyways.
Ooh, I don't know what that means. Flashback to Alstaer. You knock on the door. Saraza opens it. His shirt is crumpled.
Hi, Saraza.
Hello, Alstaer.
Oh, you look terrible.
I didn't say.
Also just looks at Saraza's hair. Come here. And he's gonna braid Saraza's hair back. Because I imagine it's like...
At which point, Gerald and Crawl come from around the corner.
Hello.
Much more put together.
Yeah, he didn't sleep.
I can tell. And Gerald is very quiet and doesn't say anything, as is per usual.
Morning.
He just nods.
Luran is in a silly, goofy mood. So, just so you know.
Okay. Does he know anything about us?
He knows the bare minimum details that he needs to know.
Right.
He doesn't know that you tried to kill everyone.
Okay.
Or disintegrate Saraza.
Ooh.
Or abused me for 20 years. He doesn't know those details. So let's just keep it that way.
For sure.
Jaral, I don't think he knows you at all. So you are free to act as you wish. Saraza, he hates you. He thinks you're an asshole.
Yeah, I was worried about that.
Yeah. I've told him that you're lovely and he told me to shut up.
Okay. I'll back it out.
Yeah, I told him it was out of order.
Did he apologise?
He did, yes.
Okay. That sounds like he's back to his normal self.
So we're just going to show that you are not an asshole. Sleia is also ignoring Luran mostly, which I think is fine and completely within Slea's right. So we will try and bridge the gap between you two, at least. Hopefully, maybe. Cool. He turns around and starts walking.
Okay. They follow you. Everybody else. The door opens. Alstair, Carol, Gerald, Saraza all enter the scene. Luran looks over, has little, just nothing when he looks at Gerald. A little like, when he looks at Carol. When he looks at Alstair. And then when he looks at Saraza. But you can tell that he's really trying to hold it back.
Okay.
Silence is a virtue, and one that I will practice at this very moment. But I can't hold my tongue very long, also, and I see you again.
Yeah, wasn't gone very long.
No, and who are these? And he points to Gerald. I think. Wait. Carol. He points at Carol, and Carol says, "You got me right." And I don't know the other one.
Also kind of waits for Gerald to introduce himself.
Gerald's like,
You can do it. Go on.
I'm wearing a disguise. This is my actual face. And Luran says, "Which is it?"
That's what he looks like.
I believe you. Okay, good to meet you.
This is Gerald.
Gerald. Hello. This is awkward.
He didn't even greet Saraza.
No.
Saraza, Luran, you guys are brothers.
Sarah says, Luran doesn't say anything. Just nods.
We don't really have a lot of time to work through the months and months of relationship reparation the two of you did. But Luran, if you trust me, Saraza is very much on our side. Nef's not even here, and Saraza stayed with us because he loves us.
Nef is still alive.
Yeah, she's just not here. And Saraza has nearly died for you multiple times and has put himself out on many limbs for your sake. And you and him have had a fairly good relationship for a year now. And you were best man at his wedding, but now he's divorced. He was best man at our wedding as well. Yeah.
You get a mind message.
Mhm.
And it just says, I can't adjust my own feelings.
Mhm.
But if you need this, I'm willing to put up with it.
Also a message back. Okay, don't push yourself, but just trust he's very much on our side. He gives Sarazar a hearty smack on the back.
Well, even if we're low on time, there is something there is always time for. And that is a bath and a change of clothes. So, if you like, I can open my pocket wardrobe and we can all go and refresh ourselves. And in fact, I'm willing, in all of my kindness, to extend this to not just my immediate friends here, gesturing to Clea and Cass and Alstaer and Bluey, but to you all as well, and just as Jorah and Coral and Sarah. So, what do you say?
That's very kind.
All right.
Pocket dimension. Will that be an issue, or is that
Why would it
so,
be?
looking around at the rift, knowing people?
It's literally like everyone except Luran now.
We haven't had any issues with the pocket dimension so far.
Okay.
I think it's just the teleportation.
Yes.
Yeah, don't teleport around.
Oh yeah, don't teleport.
Okay. This mansion, though, exists in its own pocket dimension, so I really shouldn't open my own dimension here. So where are we going?
MLS?
Okay. Well, drop us off as close as you can, looking to the river. And then we'll have a quick pit stop to refresh.
We were going to leave Karul and Joel behind.
Oh! So it's a speed meeting. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. Well, it was good to meet you. And I suppose goodbye. Quite quickly. Wow. I don't want to insult anyone here. I get the impression, just because I do not have this knowledge, that you might know a lot of these people better than. So if you need longer or some privacy to say your goodbyes, I'm willing and happy to step out so that you all can have that time. I might go find my mother and have a reunion with her because I haven't seen her in a very long time. And he looks at Sarazar and he just says, "If you're coming along, I don't need to say anything." And
rather than leaving straight away, why don't we aim to leave around lunchtime so we can gather ourselves properly? I also need to check in with the Maasai.
okay, I feel pretty with it, you know.
I'm not talking about you.
Okay, that's fine. Well, I noticed you outside. I
Yeah.
might go and give her a cuddle. You seem hesitant. That's fine.
Shu, before you, how would that Cass is like? Shu may not be super happy with you.
Ran,
Maybe just approach gently.
Yeah.
I'll go with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will go with you. First, I would recommend going to see your mother. Meet me back here in an hour, and I'll fill you in on more and take you to she.
Okay. He looks a bit concerned now. He looks to the rest of you and he says,
She's had a.
"Are we okay?" As in, me and all of you. Because I'm the only one who seems to be out of it. And I'm starting to get vibes. Especially from you. And he points at Sphere. But if you're not ready to answer or talk to me at all, I'm very happy to walk away now. But if that is a factor at play, I would prefer to know so that I'm not in the dark.
This is not Blue. This is Tanner. Is he referring to the fact that this was planned?
I think he's, from my impression, I'm getting the vibe that Luran's just like, have I done something terrible that I can't come back from? I think that's more what I'm getting, but maybe it was about the plan. But
It's definitely about that. About what he has to say.
No, everything is fine.
You're lying to me.
I will roll. I will roll performance for that lie or deception.
It'll be a deception.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll roll insight.
Oh God, what did you get? Was it terrible or was it amazing, Aelin?
28.
Luran got 19.
I also rolled a 19 and I have a +9 deception.
Luran knows something's wrong, but he isn't going to push it. He'll just say, something is wrong. That's not entirely true. But
We'll tell you later, Luran. Just maybe not right now.
well, if it is true, then I'm smart enough to know that you don't like me. You can keep the breakfast, but I'd prefer the truth. And he leaves.
I'll see you in an hour.
Only if I want to be seen.
You'll miss me in an hour.
I think Cass might look
no.
at everyone and then just follow Luran.
How's everyone feeling?
I mean,
In all honesty,
I
I don't feel safe with him around. But I will do my best and maintain my composure.
He won't hurt anyone. I spoke to him before the memory wipe, and I doubt he was actually going to do anything. That doesn't mean that we can't still feel unhappy and unsafe. But I would vouch anything that he would not have hurt you in that way.
Does Brian know that Luran actually did hurt Cass?
It's quite clear. It's quite obvious.
Yeah. I think he knows that damage was done. I think Emma retconned that he wouldn't have cast banishment, right?
Yeah, no, we've already discussed this, you and I, Aelin. That, banishment wouldn't have sent you to the Underdark. It would have sent you to the Ironstone.
Celia doesn't know that. She just, what she feels is
you also wouldn't have known he would have cast banishment because that's.
Oh yeah, you didn't know he would have.
You wouldn't know what's
her only thought was he was going to hurt me, and I was going to let him.
I think Sarahza at that point says he wouldn't. You can't judge this version of him by the same standards as we judge each other. He's from an entirely different world. If I was judging him that way, then I might be acting like I used to. But you all agreed to this.
Is he going to be let in on the fact that why he's here now? Like,
I will speak to him when he comes back, and try and lull him a bit. You give me 2 hours. I can work with that.
Crawl looks a bit uncomfortable and just, I'm going to take some bread and I'm going to go somewhere else. I have a feeling this is not a conversation we should be involved in right now.
Thank you for your help, Coral. We will be saying goodbye to you and Jaral soon.
At which point they
Actually, where are they going to go, considering there's a bounty out for Coral and them? We need to message the missile. Yeah. I have a few options for doing that. Maybe Sleer, how are you feeling with that kind of magic? Or would you rather not do that? Because I can also go and find Zarina after Luran's done. Or maybe they wouldn't want to hear from Zarina.
They definitely do not want to hear from Serena, and they definitely do not want to hear from Luran. I will do this.
Okay. In that case, we must inform them that I am fine.
They will only call off war if they see you, if you convince Lucas to stop.
Mm-hmm. Cool. How much time do we have again?
Sorella says, Elijah is still stuck in the plane of Earth, at least for another day.
Another day, 24 hours.
I can keep giving you updates.
Thank you. Could you potentially tell me where Lucas is?
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh. Yeah.
Big persuasion check.
No advantage because I'm cute?
No.
Damn it! I'm going to use a luck point.
Okay.
That's much better. That is... Hold on. I think it's 25, but I want to double check.
Okay.
Actually, 26.
26. Ooh.
Woohoo.
Sorella says, still on the side.
Thank you, Sorella. Yeah, could I please just be dropped into his room for like, I don't know, a little bit of time so I can be like, hello, fine, please don't war. And then come back.
The good luck getting out. That can be arranged.
I cannot be held down. It's quite a good trick, actually. I can transform into bugs. Anyway, please, yes, thank you.
I'll lead you.
Thanks.
And Sorella will lead you out. As you go out,
He will get changed out of his pajamas.
as you're all sorting yourselves out, Sarasa comes up to you. And Sarasa says, Can I speak to you outside?
Sure.
You walk to an empty room. There are many in the mansion. Sarasa closes the door behind you and then just kind of like pauses there for a moment. And then he gives a very deep sigh and he says, This might sound like a silly question.
Like a what?
Like a silly question. But I have to ask it. Did you feel safer around Luran yesterday than you do today?
No.
Do you feel any safer today?
What do you mean?
Does Luran's presence make you feel any safer today than you felt yesterday?
Are you asking if his change in memory has changed anything for me?
Yes.
It's made him safer for Brian.
Answer my question.
No.
And don't insinuate that Brian was Alstaer was ever in danger.
No, because I know that at the moment that any of us are perceived as a threat, Luran will turn on us.
When Alstaer told me what this memory web was doing, that was not a caveat he lined out. So unless he's gone behind our backs and added something more, then that is simply not as he is. No. I know why you're acting the way you are, and you have every right to act that way. But you're
right. I'm sorry.
No, it's not. None of us knew how we would react to this. It's not something you need to apologize.
No, it's something I need to apologize to Luran for.
I didn't bring you out here to make you feel worse.
No,
I just
you did it to
knew-
clear my head.
Yeah.
And you're right.
It's Leah.
I get a day more and I shouldn't be acting like this. I shouldn't. Waste what time I have left. It doesn't matter. Yes, it hurt. But I just... That's not worth holding on to.
At that, you hear a step and someone moving beside you. And both of you jump. Well, you might not be startled, Leah. But Sarah's at the very least jumps. And from the shadows, unsure quite how he obscured himself. This has always been his way. Joral steps out. And he says, I was going to wait until he was gone. He looks at Sarah. I wanted to speak to you. And I felt I had to speak now. I hope you'll hear what I have to say.
Always.
And really hear it. And this isn't about Luran before you, in case that puts you on edge.
No. I had a feeling.
You've seen me all the way through. What I am, or what I could be. There were plenty of times where I could have fallen to the darkest parts of myself. Where I could have stayed on the path that I thought fate had handed out to me. And in a way I did. I'm still with Karul in a different. I'm still walking alongside you, though not against you. But I really could have soured. But I had to be a father for Valis. And I don't want to hurt you by bringing up family. Knowing that I needed to be something for someone, it helped. And it changed me, and it changed the way I act. And I know right now that you feel resigned to the path you're walking on. And I actually see, even though you're reacting to it very differently, you're doing the same thing that Luran is doing. And I wonder if maybe that's why you feel so affected by this. Because you're cutting off all the parts that feel and trying to only be the Star Martyr or the Ash Bearer or whatever. In the same way Luran is only trying to be a husband.
There is a difference. I can't be both. I don't have a choice.
Celia.
If I fail, this is Kestel's fate.
Celia, stop for a second. Are you wearing the cloak right now?
Not yet.
Not yet. You don't have to be both. Because if one fate is still waiting for you, that doesn't make you any less of a friend now. You can be family to those here for the remaining time that they walk with you.
I know.
You're like their mum, their mother, Celia. Especially to Cass. I know that both you and her are bound to fates that are going to divide you from the people you love. But I heard Serena and Cass speaking last night. And Cass, though her fate seems to be sealed, is still looking. And you don't even have to look. If you're certain, you don't even need to find a way out. But if you could just find a way.
That's why I'm gonna go apologize to Luran. Because you're right. I'm gonna be their family till the very end. And that's what I can do. I asked
Never.
to be the last.
I hope that comes true.
No one will ever have to wear that cloak.
And Jarrell stands in an awkward triangle with you and Saracen. I want that for you. If these are your last with your family, then, I mean,
You should be a part of that too.
I never really got to see you as you were before. And I don't know if it's possible for you to I'd like to know her before she's gone. I'd like to take her with me wherever I go. And I think Cass especially would want to do the same, considering she may be even further away from you than most. And I think she needs you.
Also, I missed one of the words. Who is Gerald talking about?
Cass.
Before
Cass
that.
most.
Uh,
I never got to know her.
never got to know.
You.
Okay.
He's talking about you. The you who existed and lived when he was antagonizing you and wasn't a part of it. He wants to take her with him.
What's funny is that the person I was, you changed her. For the better. Thank you.
He awkwardly scratches his head and is like, I don't know. I might have stabbed her once. I don't remember.
Maybe.
Can I please give you a hug?
Yeah.
He hugs you and then looks up and looks over at Sarah. Like,
You
can also join the hug.
Yeah. So he's just kind of like opened her arm, like.
Sarah was like, this feels so. I will bear hug you all.
I love you both. Thank you.
Sarah says, same? And Joel's like, I don't think it's the same. That's fine. You don't have to say. You don't feel obliged. At which point, outside, Bluey, you may, if you wish, go to prepare yourself for the trials that await you in Melas. Is there anything you want to say to Luran or to any of the party members before you get ready for the day?
Look, Luran, if you if something that would help would be a list of people, and then how much the rest of us seem to trust them, including us. If you'd like a list like that.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Actually, Bluey, you're so helpful. You always have been. You're going to be a great asset in my shop.
For 2 months. And then any other time I can spare.
2 months. Did we actually say 2 or was it 3?
And it was so it was initially a bit a lower amount, but because I had borrowed some more money from you, it went up to 2 months.
Can I ask, if I were, for example, to go check the extensive records that I keep of all my expenditure,
He has a
would I
joint
see
account.
any extra payments in your favour?
Alstaer's been secretly paying off Bluey's debt. He just finds Dippet.
I don't look, not to my knowledge.
Okay.
Uh,
We can talk
But-
about in due time. But
Mm.
a list would be wonderful and might knock off a day off your debt.
I mean, look, to be honest, I'm happy to do this. You know, not because I owe you, but because I want to. You know.
Mm. That's bad
Um,
business, but good friendship. So thank you, Bluey. I appreciate
Okay.
it.
So
Yeah.
I can get started on that, or I can do that with
Yeah.
you. To be honest, that might
Okay,
be.
well, maybe if you like, we can do it together. And as you come up with names, we can talk a little bit about what they may and may not have done.
Okay.
Okay, cool, sweet. Probably should do this with someone else's supervision, so that if either of us pry too far, we can be stopped.
No, I agree. Yeah.
Not that, no. Joking. She would be irresponsible. When Alstaer is free, also if
Astra.
let's just play it by ear. And you and Luran can, if you wish, go off to make this list. And whoever happens upon them, you can be the ears of reason.
Mhm.
So
Please.
before that, because I think Luran left to go find Zarina and Cass followed him out, so
Chat.
she wasn't
Ah,
there for any of the conversations that went on between the group because she wanted to go and speak to Luran privately first.
Very cool. So you would have left. Sorry, of course.
I'm
Slide
gonna.
back. Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
fine. I
say
mostly
goodbye.
just did that so that you would get your.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Goodbye. Bye,
Um,
Anna.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Boy.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye. Before that, or maybe you all leave in your separate rooms. Blah 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 blah. Bluey starts making a list. Luran steps out to speak to you, Cass. Luran takes you to somewhere slightly more private. Leans on the wall. Just says, "Oh, what can I do?"
I think Cass.
If it's about your face, I might be able to help.
I think Cass will kind of go up to Luran and give him not a completely light punch, but a small punch.
Winded. Ow.
Followed quite
Balls
quickly
HP.
by a very big hug.
Aw. Okay, this is exactly what I've come to expect from you. And he hugs you back.
And she's crying.
Oh, well, this is a little bit embarrassing for you, but I won't tell it. Last thing I remember, you were slapping Alstair's bum and telling him it was me.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
And
It's-
vice versa.
It's good to have you back, Luran. And when you remember everything, I'll still be pleased to have you. But things are a little bit hard right now, and I think maybe you should give Astra a little bit of time.
I know when I am an unwanted. And that's no judgment on her necessarily. But I'm not an idiot. Everything she was saying in there, I heard loud and clear. I won't involve myself with her, and she doesn't need to involve herself with me.
I think I missed you.
Did I go away?
We all did. We all are. I feel sorry for you in a way. This isn't going to be easy.
He summons a glass of wine and one for you as well. And if you take it, he says, well then,
He
here's,
piped as well.
here's their reunion then.
She will cheers. I think he can still pick up the fact that like things aren't exactly back to normal with Cass, and there's still a little bit of friction. But I just think for the moment, Cass is enjoying having someone in her family seems sort of semi-normal in comparison to what everyone has become.
Cass. Sometimes when you're going through shit, it's nice to have someone there who's entirely there to listen and react to what you're saying. If this is what you need, I will provide this service for you for a very small.
Luran.
Would you believe I'm a licensed therapist? It's a lie. If you had, you would have been gullible. I have used that.
Just nice to have someone to not even drink with again. I think Cass just downs it and it's just like, oh, this is but shit.
Cass, sometimes it's just nice to have some. Let me summon some pillows and we can just recline. Okay. As you recline, there is one more matter to settle. Alstaer.
Yes.
So Rella shows you to the door.
Mhm.
It's Leah. Might I ask? Have you messaged the Messiah?
Slia has not messaged the Messiah because Alstaer didn't give her a message, and also because she's like, I don't think they're gonna want to hear from anybody except for you.
Okay. Well then, Alstaer.
Just dump me in Lucas's room or something.
You think I can get that specific?
It's a big room.
You are correct, I can. The door is opened. Now, Alstaer.
Not as big as mine. Yeah, anyway.
Lucas's room is covered in black silken shrouds. The doors and the windows are all shut and covered again in the same black.
Is this done you?
Mirrors covered everything.
Oh.
On the bed,
This isn't
See?
a Messiah custom.
a black clad figure, shaken, lying upon the bed, cradling something in her hands. You see a flash of purple skin.
Daniel?
There's a screech. And immediately she whips around.
Hi.
I truly am seeing into the spirit realm.
Oh, no, I am alive. Yeah. Are you alright?
Oh,
This is very excessive.
I'm, at the very least, connected to the afterlife.
Oh, wow. He grabs Daniel's hand. Daniel, I'm alive. Yeah. You can feel my pulse. He puts it on his neck. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. And she jumps and strangles you. I knew you weren't dead. Oh my god. Look, he's not dead. She calls over her shoulder. And you see Catatonic, the thing she was cradling, lying on the bed. Doesn't even, feet barely reach the other edge of the duvet. Is a black clad Kev. She's like,
Kev?
oh, Dad.
Ah.
It looks like he might die at any moment.
Right. Alstaer goes and pats Kev's chest. Everything is fine. Hello.
Only my devotion to you has kept me alive all these years.
Wow.
How long has it been?
Like a day.
Like Orpheus, you return from hell.
Bam.
See, you did not bring Eurydice with you.
What are you talking about?
Poor Luran.
Luran's fine.
He's fine?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
No.
He is alive.
Oh. I mean, my God! I'm so pleased!
Oh.
Daniel says, shut up. Anyway, oh my God, we have to catch up. I thought you were dead. Everyone thinks you're dead. Lucas is like currently planning an invasion and stuff.
Oh, yeah, well, I need to talk to Lucas. I have about 20 minutes.
Oh, you have to go really fast.
Yeah,
because
because-
he's kind of led the war.
Where is he?
It might be quicker to find your dad, to be honest.
Daniel.
He's been wallowing away like Mrs. Havisham just for like the last 3 hours.
Daniel, Kev, I love you both very much. I am sorry that this visit is brief. I am alive. Everything is not okay. The world is in fact ending, but I will do my best to stop it.
Oh, is this right? Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So, like, okay, maybe like a day and a half ago,
Uh-huh.
I was like walking with some of my ladies in waiting,
Yeah.
and one of them went ahead of me, and she like tried to go into the teleportation room. And what happened was when she opened the door, like her torso split in half. So half of her went somewhere and the other half of her stayed. But it wasn't like she was dead. Like instead of the upper half of her body, there was just like this silver little circle thing.
No.
And she was just some walking legs.
Daniel,
and she was
Daniel.
as if she was seeing other stuff, which was super crazy.
Daniel. And Kev, actually.
Kevin,
Could you please go and shut the teleportation room down?
but
Please.
it's kind of funny because
No.
just like hands. Like,
Kev, I'm sure you understand. Would you please go and shut the door?
Whichever you ask of me.
Emma, is one of my eyes still seeing stuff? Is it just like one of my eyes like
You've never asked this of me before. I think the answer is probably yes.
oh no, she's got like a mad eye movie eye going on.
Cass, George actually, can I awaken you to realization?
Oh no.
People who are blind don't see black. They see nothing. There is no thing to do the seeing.
Can confirm.
Therefore, there is nothing. Conceptualize nothing. So,
Wait,
Cass,
what? My brain.
yeah, right. You probably think, like, oh, if I'm blind and I look, I hold my phone, I can't see, but I can still see the phone. But that's not how. But there is no eye, so therefore there's no thing to do the seeing. So you just don't have. So Cass, on the other hand, you can sort of still see, but it's just like not the plane.
Just can't quite process.
True.
Wait, so is Cass currently seeing like the stuff in front of her plus some vague out like something else going on in a different plane?
Yeah.
Is that what's happening?
Yeah, pretty
Oh my
much.
god.
I know.
That would be so migraine inducing. Ew.
Or maybe someone stepped on your eye and that's why you haven't been seeing anything.
Yeah.
Maybe it's in like a ditch.
Anyway, so Alstaer, you follow Daniel and
He'll send Kev off. He'll ask Daniel, would you be able to fetch Valis for me?
Oh, okay. Well, actually, like we've been kind of keeping him like in one of the rooms up here so that he doesn't get freaked out by all the war stuff.
Yeah.
We've also been keeping Kev in one of these rooms as well for the same reason because he needs a gentler.
Right.
I've
I
adopted him as like my little brother.
think
He's kind of funny.
I think he's older than you.
Yeah,
Anyway,
maybe.
I would like actually to take Valis and return him for the time being to his parents, who are going to sit in a room until the end of this problem.
I wonder if I need to ask anyone's permission to do that. No,
No.
I'm a queen. Decided.
Well, because technically Gerald's his parent and I'm the legal guardian after that, so...
You're also the king, so I think you can kind of do whatever you want.
That's
I'll
true.
take him.
Thank
She
you.
stops and goes back up a couple of steps, opens the door, disappears. You hear her... And then, as if you were holding Lala, comes out holding Valis, who's like, no, I don't want it. No, Hi.
Hi,
Hey.
Valis. Valis, I'm going to come back for you later. Stay with Daniel.
Okay. Wait. Can I come now?
No.
Well, I want to.
No, you need to stay with Daniel.
You're being really boring. I want to come.
No.
Please.
No.
Why are you being so mean?
Shush.
Mean!
He casts a light frost on Valis's lips and leaves.
I'm sure my dad hurt me with cold.
He can't open his mouth.
Meh.
It's like the silencing spell.
You're not London. You can't do that.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No.
Yes, I can.
Anyway, you carry on down the steps, and you go to find Lucas.
He puts his hood up, first of all, and he's going to try and find...
Make a stealth check.
Yeah. 7.
I was asking a disadvantage, but I don't think you need to. 7. You take one step out into the corridor. Take another step. Take maybe 2 more. You know what? You take 7 in fact steps before someone raises a finger and points and says, "It's the cane! Alstaer! Also, game on. The cane. It's Alfred Wiggleshift.
I hate
Still
this
in
man.
employ.
I want to banish him.
Every time we've already discussed this. Every time you banish him, he still gets reemployed.
No.
From
He wiggles
Out
his way
in-
back in.
Yeah.
out in the ether, from somewhere beyond your concept of reality and time and understanding, you see a cutscene of your father. Woe is me, arms crossed, looking out the window. He is aged 50 years in about a day. The moment you hear Alfred Wiggleshift say,
It's Alstaer.
"It's Alstair," he perks up like the cats when the automatic feeder goes off and starts running. Moments later, he appears in front of you.
Father. Hi.
He drifts forward, slowly pulls you into his arms, and starts pulling,
Alstair will pat his back and go
No.
with him.
protected in the bedchambers.
I'm...
Tuck you in and lock the door.
No. He stops Romy.
No,
Romy, please.
no,
Please.
I must lock you away like I did when you were born.
He picks Romy up.
Oh,
He's like, no.
oh my.
No.
Why are you suddenly strong?
You weigh nothing.
Did you? Die on top.
Oh,
Did you die?
yes, but I am okay
How
now.
could you?
Actually, it was a horrible death curse.
Who did this to you?
Elijah Ashun.
I will go and kill him.
We're going to go kill him.
I will come with you.
You don't need to. You need to protect the Messiah because there are rifts opening up all throughout the system and destroying everything.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
That's 12.
No, I want to come. I want to fight him.
Where's Mother?
She is off guarding the war for you.
Where are they? We need to stop this war.
We're on the coasts, loading the ships.
Can you please message them and tell them to stop?
Promise we don't have to go to war.
I promise you don't have to go to war because if you go to war, you could get sucked into a rift. It's much safer for you to be here where you can protect yourselves.
I think if you're asking this of me, we need a hostage. Do you have Pikachu?
No,
Where is he?
I don't know actually.
Okay. We will go to war unless you bring us Pikachu.
In a pet locket. That's where he is.
Who has the locket?
Cass?
We don't have time. We don't have time for this.
Or Luran, one of them.
No.
I thought Alstair
We
had
don't
it.
have. Does Alstair have it?
Also, do
I
you
think-
have it?
Yeah, because I think Gerald gave it back to Alstair.
Who has pet Pico?
Who's got Pico now?
Okay. If Alstair has the locket, he'll be like, right, take the locket off, give it to Rolmy. That is Pico Taro. Don't let him out. He is in fact undead.
Oh.
We can deal with that later. He's probably fine, just chilling. We'll fix him later. Is that okay? Would you message them now and stop the war? Yes.
Okay. My dear son has returned to life. Stop the war. Please.
Bunch of dramatic ice princes
Love from Romy. Kiss.
Who has Rory become since he has been dethroned?
He reminds me of Love 1G, actually. A little bit.
He's silly. In every aspect. One.
Good. That's all I really came to do, actually.
Okay.
Mhm.
Goodbye, son.
Yeah, I'm going to leave now. Oh, please don't cry. He gives Romy a hug.
I'm not crying.
You are actually sobbing.
No, I'm not.
How old are you? Like 500, 600? Right. Well, he will find an attendant.
You find Kev.
Kev,
Oh.
did you shut down the teleportation circle?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, that's really wonderful.
Mm.
I'm going to entrust you with the care of my father.
Oh, but of course.
Yes, please bring him tissues
Mm-hmm.
and a warm blanket.
That will be his tissue box.
No, bring him actual tissues.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Handkerchiefs, that will be fine.
Tea
Yes.
and
Hold his
Smelling
hand.
salts?
Yes, and hold his hand. My mother and my cousin have been informed to stop the war, which is all I really came to do.
I will vouch for you on this front. If any resistance is put up, I will crush it with my little foot.
Thank you.
One of them smaller than the other.
All right, Kev. I'm sure you will. But I also would like to make sure, he looks at Romy as well, that the whatever warrants you have out for Karul and Luran are erased because they are completely irrelevant. I was killed by Elijah Ashun, and it was actually Luran who brought me back to life.
We heard conflicting information from one of your associates.
Well, I am telling you what happened to me now. I'm a terrible liar.
Are you in your correct mind?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I believe you. Okay.
Thank you. Also, I'm taking Karul's son with me. You've got
Okay.
Pico Taro, you really don't need him. I am going to leave now and save the planar universe as we know it.
Okay.
Are you alright?
I'm a big boy.
You really are!
I'm joking. No, he nods and he gives you another hug.
Yeah.
And he says,
It's alright. Give Mum a hug for me and Lucas a hug for me.
now scram. I'm sorry.
Uh-huh. Go sit.
A door is opened behind you. It's time.
Valis.
Valas go that. I want to go now.
Why is Valis and Vaz?
Okay.
Also, we'll pick up Valis and walk through the
Yeah.
door with him.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Thank you. Why?
As he enters the door, he's like, Karul, Dral.
Oh, it's my dad's.
Yes.
Yeah. I thought they'd abandoned me again.
Karul, Dral, take your son.
Okay. Dral picks him up by the scruff. I just had a big group hug with Sleer and Sarah.
Wonderful. That's really touching.
Maybe talk to Sleer. I think she needs
Yes.
I don't.
I will.
It's just like,
Yes. Feed that. I don't really know what Daniel has been giving Valis.
Cruel smells his breath like.
Valis, behave yourself,
No, I don't want to.
please.
I don't want to.
Okay. I will talk to Sleer after I've dealt with Luran.
Okay.
And then I will see if anyone else needs counselling and hugs.
So Elara says, actually, I think it's about time you all got to know us, isn't it? I'll be waiting by the door.
We said it was lunchtime. It's only been half an hour.
Well,
You said I could have 2 hours with Luran.
well, fine.
Also checks his watch. He's like, it is only 9:30.
I'll be waiting.
You do not control our schedule. Shut up. No.
I only save you every time you get lost in the famous.
You are very useful in terms of your door opening and closing, but you cannot boss us around and tell us when to leave because we are going to save your dragon friends.
The kindest thing anyone's ever said to me.
Also, who is Gerald?
He is my husband.
Why have we never met Gerald before?
I'm not a people person.
Fair enough. Svalaras, I will see you in 2.5 hours.
You can all, in whatever ways you wish, relax and pass. Alstaer, Leah, what do you want to do?
Oh, Slay was gonna make a beeline for like after her conversation with after the group hugs. Slay was gonna go directly to Luran to apologize.
Oh,
Also a walk-in on that, probably.
so Sliam,
Cass is there with Luran.
all of you coincide and you bundle together in the corridor. Sliam, Luran looks up at you and he stands and puts his wine glass down. And he says, "We actually made a little drinking den just in this corridor. It's very inconvenient. If you need to pass, please do."
No, it's fine. I'm sorry for my reaction this morning.
Look, I probably deserved it.
Even so, no, you didn't deserve it. And I'm sorry.
Well, I'm sorry as well. Have that as a placeholder until I know exactly what. And would you like a drink? Something sweet and simple?
I'm okay, actually, but, you're my family, and I should treat you better than... What happens at our worst moments shouldn't define us, and I'm sorry for letting that frame how I reacted to you.
Look, I know I can be quite ridiculous, but it's just for fun. I'm sorry you weren't having. I should have noticed. I can pull back when necessary.
Really, just be yourself. I'm
And I
happy
will.
to get to spend time with my family, the people that
If you'll do the same.
I love very, very deeply. I know, how embarrassing for me.
Oh, so embarrassing for you. Oh. Anyway,
Slay
you've
just
got a lot
kinda-
to fill me in on. So far, I've only heard the devastating. I'd love to hear some of the fun stuff. I'm sure.
Got married. Have a kid on the way.
We're their godmothers.
Ooh.
Slaya snugs up to Cass and just kind of like wraps her arms around her.
Cass snuggles. There's some serious snuggles.
Alstair's at the door. He didn't want to intrude.
Cass pulls Brian in.
He's like, ah! I was in fact here the whole time.
As you kind of pull him in, also you like instinctively you settle in beside Luran, just kind of against him. And as you relax there, Luran says, "Huh, that's what I've been missing." As he puts his arm around.
Well, you both smell of wine, so that's good.
I can sober us up with magic when the time comes, but until then, let's get absolutely shit-faced.
Yeah, I was going to talk to you about the timeline and stuff.
Well then, better to do it whilst we're a little bit tipsy.
I was also, I mean, I thought we could do it in, private.
And let's start with a drink and see where the night or the lunchtime takes.
Understood.
And with that, all secrets and timelines to come out as we herald the next session. We'll wrap it up there. If there's anything you specifically want to tell Luran about, we will start with that next game. For fun.
For fun.
Cool.
And I think it's bedtime for most of us.
Yes, I
Yes.
stayed on a lot longer than I anticipated,
Yeah.
and I've got to head off.
Is next game normal
Uh,
Tuesday?
Let me just check.
I think so.
I think so, yeah. Next game will be on